the wonderful people out there of Greater China to come to our event in Hong Kong just a few short weeks ago. It was such an honor to see each and every one of you. Guys, we have people from all over the world on here tonight in multiple languages: Japanese, Taiwanese, Chinese, even French, Spanish. People out there, when you log on, by the way, you can change your language. Some of the translations live and some is changed through Zoom. It's amazing what we can do with technology. But I say that because we're truly building a global family. We're building a global movement and a global community. And there's so much activity. There's so much taking place right now in the field that I'm so excited about. And I want to recognize all of the leaders that are out there building. You know, we had the chance in both Salt Lake City and Hong Kong to recognize the pioneers. We also had the chance to recognize the volunteers. I never want us to forget about the people that volunteer to go out there and help with this movement. There's so many people that do stuff behind the scenes with Zooms, and they do stuff to go serve other people. And I want to recognize those folks. I want to recognize our 3 brand ambassadors that are out there sharing what our products and what this movement's about on a daily basis. They're out there traveling, and there's so many people, too many people to mention, but there's so many meetings taking place right now. By the way, I hear the argument so often. Do I build a business on social media? Does it work? Do I build a business in the living rooms? Does that work? Do I build a business at a coffee shop? Do in-person one-on-ones work? Here's what I would tell you to all 3. Yes, yes, and yes. They all work if you work. If you roll up your sleeves, if you've got a dream, if you've got a vision for yourself, not what is the company's vision. I'd ask you, what's your vision? All of those things work. Social media works incredibly well. The living rooms work incredibly well. A meeting at a hotel with 100 or 200 people that are seeing this amazing movement in person works incredibly well. It all works. I'd tell you to watch out, by the way. Watch for social media. Watch out there. Go to your upline leaders. Watch out for the exciting news of amazing tours taking place right now all over. We've got people doing meetings all over Georgia, North Carolina, Florida. There's going to be a tour kicking off on July 25th all over North America. Towns like Dallas, Texas, and Morristown, New Jersey, and Flushing, New York, and Toronto, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Calgary, Canada, Vancouver, Canada, Des Moines, Iowa, Kansas City, and the St. Louis area. That's from July 25th to August 10th. Look for those announcements out there. I want to thank all of our amazing field leadership that are out there leading by example and teaching people what to do next. You're in 3. What do I do next? You need to know. Well, look for those tour events that are coming close to you, to a city near you, and make sure you get your teams and their guests to all these events. Guys, I want to welcome up. I want to say this. It's been such an honor and a privilege to play a small part in what's been created the last few months. But I want to say this. To create anything great takes an amazing team. And the greatest teams out there, I watched my Denver Nuggets. You know, I grew up in Colorado, and I grew up in an age where the Nuggets were never good. I mean, it was the laughing stock of Denver. Everybody was a Bronco fan. Nobody cared about the Rockies or Nuggets because the Nuggets could never put together a team. Well, guess what? They got an amazing coach a few years ago. Then they got an amazing trifecta, some amazing players like Jokic and Murray and Aaron Gordon. And guess what? They went out and won an NBA championship. And for those of you that are not Nuggets fans, there's probably only a few of us on here tonight. That's what can happen after 47 years of a drought when you bring the right team together. Well, I'm here to tell you, we've got an amazing team here at 3. And nothing great is ever accomplished without an incredible team led by incredible coaches and incredible people that are playing their part and using their expertise to the best of their abilities to go out and serve this community. And one of those team members, and not just a team member, but a leader in this company and a gentleman that's been by my side for a number of months and helped kick off this amazing movement, is the head of our science department, our chief scientific officer, who I can't say enough great things about. First off, he did an amazing job in Salt Lake, but then he flew over to Hong Kong and spoke Chinese from stage in Hong Kong. I think people were blown away when they saw Dr. Dan speaking Chinese in Hong Kong, describing our products, talking about our science, talking about what makes us unique in their native language. It was so beautiful to watch. It was really neat to be able to watch. But I learned so much from Dr. Dan and his expertise, and he leads our scientific advisory board. He also formulates our products. He's juggling so many different things. He's leading the research and new development when it comes to 3. But I want to thank Dr. Dan Gubler, who most of you know as Dr. Dan, for all his efforts, his commitment, his dedication. And most importantly, I want to thank him for who he is and for his passion. You know, to build something great, you got to have passionate people around you. You can't have people that are just going through the motions and pretending. You have to have people that love what they do. And he lives, eats, and breathes science. And he told the story about his grandfather and how he initially got his passion. But I want to thank him. I want to thank him for serving this amazing community. We've got some exciting news tonight, and Dr. Dan is going to take it from here. Dr. Dan, the Zoom is all yours. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Daniel. Good evening. Good morning, everyone. It's such a delight to be with you all. I am so grateful to be here at 3. I'm humbled. I'm honored. This is my dream job. I absolutely love what I do. Like Daniel said, for me, it's all about the science. I love coming up with new ways to develop new products that have high absorption to help change the world, to help improve people's health. And like Daniel said, we have some really exciting announcements tonight. The first announcement is related to our scientific advisory board. And I just have to say, I hope that you all understand how powerful our scientific advisory board is. The current members that we have with their training from the Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins, and they've been professors, and they've been voted top doctors in their state, in their practices. They work on billionaire clients. These are amazing individuals that we currently have on our scientific advisory board. And I tell you what, I have never seen another company in this space that has a scientific advisory board like we do. And the really cool thing for me that just tugs at my heartstrings when I think about it, all of these people on our scientific advisory board are unpaid. They're not compensated. In a lot of companies, they pay people extravagant amount of money to go and to, be on a call for 5 minutes once a year, or to go to an event, an annual convention once a year and speak for a couple of minutes. But these scientific advisory board members, they're passionate about what we're doing. They're passionate about 3 and the science. They show up. Dr. Sabo was on the Wellness Wednesday call last night with Dr. McCormick. And so they're just service-oriented, servant leaders, and so grateful to have our scientific advisory board. And when you talk with people and you tell them about our company, you need to make sure that you show them our scientific advisory board and the caliber of people that we have on our board. And you can pull that up on our website. It's easy to find. And please use the scientific advisory board as you're talking with other people, because it's huge. It's tremendous. Well, the announcement we have tonight, we have 2 new members of our scientific advisory board that we've added. These are amazing individuals. They're the top of their field, and we're going to have you meet them tonight. And so the first individual that I want to introduce, and we'll pull up her bio here, the first new member of our scientific advisory board is Dr. Catherine Medafrey. She's based in Jacksonville, and you can see her bio here. She was rated the best doctor in the Jacksonville area by her peers. She is a board certified in internal medicine. She practices at the Mayo Clinic in Florida. Now, if you don't know that name, the Mayo Clinic is the best medical clinic and medical school in the world. The best of the best come out of there. And so for Dr. Medafrey to be at the Mayo Clinic, it speaks volumes about her training, her compassion, her expertise, and everything that she does. I've talked with Dr. Medafrey several times, and what I love about her is her holistic approach to taking care of people. Yes, she's a medical doctor. Yes, she knows about pharmaceutical drugs and Western medicine and different interventions that can help people when they're in that nosedive to pull them out. But she also values complementary medicine, alternative medicine, holistic medicine. She's a student of it all. And so we're so grateful to have Dr. Catherine Modafferi as a new member of our scientific advisory board. And we're grateful as a treat that Dr. Modafferi is with us tonight. Good evening, Dr. Modafferi.
Good evening. I'm not sure you could see me, but we're going to try.
We don't see you, but we hear you loud and clear.
I hope you can at least hear me.
So grateful to have you with us tonight. So Dr. Modafferi,
yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your background? You know, I gave a few things here with your bio, but if there's anything else you want to mention, and then also, you know, as a medical doctor, why do you think supplementation is necessary?
Right. Well, thank you very much for that wonderful acknowledgement. I think you make it sound very impressive. Thank you very much. I am delighted and honored to be part of this diverse community, and it is a very diverse community. And you know, to be part of this scientific advisory board with so many of these professional people is just wonderful. To be able to learn from their expertise, and your expertise is just wonderful. So, you know, modern medicine has really become more impersonal. It really has. And I believe we need to return back to the roots of our modern scientific medicine, right back to the earth, which abounds with so many natural resources of healing, which is what we are doing with our products, isn't it? Really, at 3, we're really getting back to the natural resources of healing. And, basically, the body just wants to be healthy, but the things that are happening now sometimes prohibits things that may be happening, that it can't be healthy. So many toxins in our environment that prevent it from functioning at its peak. And there's so many natural things that are missing in the body. And so in addition to what I feel as far as exercise, rest, meditation, we need to add back some what I like to call, and so do you, proactive wellness products, right? Proactive wellness products. That's the key, such as our products at 3, to kind of bring the body back to its proper alignment, because it is, a lot of our bodies are just out of alignment. Add back to what it's lacking, to kind of gently nudge it back to the stability of it, but also to help remove some of the things that is preventing it to get back to performing at its peak potential. Because not only does it need things, it actually has to extract some of the things that are in there. So I know I'm just kind of rattling on and on and on because I'm so passionate about it. So I hope that kind of answered a little bit of your questions. I can keep on going, but we're short on time. So
yeah, Dr. Modafferi, I love your passion. And I love all the members of the Scientific Advisory Board. They're passionate about what we're doing, because this is not a job for us here at 3. This is a cause. This is a cause. This is a revolution. We are coming up with new ways to, and I love what you said, Dr. Modafferi. It is about making these tweaks and these changes to bring the body back into balance, back into homeostasis. So you're channeling all of that energy, all of that chi, that life force, whatever you want to call it, mitochondrial energy. So the body just performs beautifully as it should.
Yes. It's, you know, we really do. I think, you know, Sir William Osler said it best. A good physician treats the disease, but the great physician treats the patient who has the disease. And I think a lot of times we forget that. We just focus on the disease, but we really need to treat the patient. And that's what I try to do in my practice, is combination of both. And wellness is so important. And prevention is the key. Yes.
I love how you said proactive wellness. That's music to our ears here.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know, being at the Mayo Clinic and all that you're doing, you could be on a board of any nutritional supplement company. So, you know, what was it about 3, or, you know, what are some of the unique things that drew you to 3 that you haven't found at other places that you've looked around?
Right. So I want to know that my patients are taking the most effective and the purest form of a supplement or something that they're getting with the greatest absorption rate, right? So they can feel the benefit of the product, because if they're feeling the benefit of the product, they're going to stick with it if they know it's working. And I know that I have done a service to them that I feel confident with. And if it's something that I personally will take, then I'm feeling comfortable to give it to myself, my family, and to my patients.
Yeah. I love how the very first word that you said was absorption.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's so important, because why else would we do these, right?
Right.
Yes.
And it's great to hear as a medical doctor, it all starts with absorption.
It does.
Wonderful.
It really does.
So what are some of the 3 products that you're enjoying using?
Okay. So my 3 products, well, my 2 main products is Eternel. I love that product. I do it at least once or twice a day, probably twice a day. I miss it when I don't take it. It's usually in my purse, at my desk, at work. It's somewhere in my car. I have them. It's just so beneficial to me because it has a lot of the key ingredients, right? The collagen, the glutathione, which is so hard to find anywhere else, the CoQ. It's really just a super antioxidant. And then the other one is the Purify. For me, it just works wonders for the whole gut, for the liver, the kidneys, and the gut. Those main organs, I just think those are the things that really work for me. The other one that I do take is I do take the collagen. I really do like that one as well. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, Dr. Madafri, we are just ecstatic to have you on our board.
Thank you.
All of our brand partners are hearing your voice now, but they will see your face. For sure at our convention in Anaheim, if not before then, I'm sure probably before then as well. Any parting words that you would give to our brand ambassadors, people who are striving to be healthy, who are using our products and sharing our products with the world?
Oh, just be passionate about what you believe in the product. So just show your passion, just express it. And I think that's just it. If you believe in this product, and you're going to portray it just in the way you talk about it, and you're compassionate about it. And that's all it is. I mean, everybody's going to feel that and just take that energy, and they're just going to run with it.
Wonderful. Again, thank you, Dr. Madafri. Thank you for your service as a medical doctor at the Mayo Clinic, and also for your willingness to be with us here at 3 and to help us all to be better.
Thank you very much. I'm honored. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Madafri. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Isn't she great? I just love her passion, her knowledge, her wisdom. Well, the thing I love about the scientific advisory board members that we have, and our new members are no exception, is their humility. They know so much. And with all that they know, they could be snooty, they could be prideful and arrogant and kind of look down on people, but they're just so compassionate, so humble, so willing to learn, so willing to share their knowledge and expertise that they're amazing individuals. So we just introduced Dr. Madafri, and I'm excited to announce the second member of our scientific advisory board. So we're announcing 2 members today, and that's Dr. Charles Green. Dr. Green, you can see here his bio. He is an MD PhD, which if you don't know what that means, it's implied in the title. He went through a PhD like I did, 6, 7, 8 years. And then on top of that, he went and he became a medical doctor. He's a board certified otolaryngologist. He's a head and neck surgeon at Jacksonville ENT Surgery. You look at his background here. Look at this. He went to UCI, University of California, Irvine, for his undergrad, one of the best scientific schools in the United States, both undergrad and graduate. Then he went to Washington School of Medicine in Seattle. Again, one of the best schools on the planet, especially when you're talking about biology and biochemistry and mechanisms of action and those sorts of things. And then you see that he went on and he did his residency training in general surgery at University of Michigan. And I love the research he's doing. I was actually reading the paper that was published here about discovering a novel hearing loss gene, a chemical switch. Now that's freaking cool, guys, because when you understand and you discover this gene, you can then use methods to target it. And so if you can modulate that gene that is involved in hearing loss and you can upregulate it, then you might be able to restore hearing. There's so many cool things. I'll have to talk with Dr. Green about that offline. That's freaking cool. But I just, he's a servant. He's a leader. He cares about his patients. Number one, he spends hours, many hours every week in surgery, helping people. He is an amazing entrepreneur, businessman. He's very well spoken. And we're just so grateful to have Dr. Green as another new member on our scientific advisory board. So Dr. Green, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I am fantastic. It's so great to see your smiling face. How are you?
Wonderful. And I love your energy. He's like this all the time. It's not a show. He's like this all the time. One of the things I enjoy about you.
Well, man, science just gets me fired up. I love it. And so I guess to start, why don't you tell us about your journey, how you got into science and became an MD PhD to help people?
Okay, sure. Well, I grew up in Compton, California, which is in the inner city. And then I went to undergrad at East Irvine, as you mentioned, and I was a double major there. But then I went to the University of Washington, and I actually did my MD and my PhD at the same time. I was in the medical scientist training program, and it was there that I developed a passion for cells. I actually did intracellular recording from nerve cells in the brain. I did brain research there. And then was fortunate to go on to the University of Michigan to do general surgery and head and neck surgery. And so there I became interested in molecular biology and genetics. So I am truly a scientist at heart. And that's one of the things about this company that I love, that it's based on sound scientific principles.
Awesome. So what are your thoughts? What are some of the scientific principles that we're working on at 3 that again, you with your training and background and all that you're doing, you're on boards already. What attracted you to become a member or accept the invitation to become a member of the 3 Scientific Advisory Board?
Well, before becoming a member of the Scientific Advisory Board, which is an honor and a blessing, I am passionate about health and wellness. So it's kind of right up my alley. The mission, vision, and values of the company align with mine. And the first thing that really impressed me were the products. I am a lifelong workout person. I've taken nutritional products my whole life. And so I understand the value of nutritional assistance, particularly when we live in an age where a lot of our environmental problems are impacting nutrition. We don't have the same amount of minerals in most of our water. And so most people, at least half of the people in the United States, take some type of nutritional supplement because we know that the body needs certain things to function well. And you can't always get them successfully in your diet. And sometimes you don't even know whether or not you should eat certain things or not because you don't necessarily know the nutritional value. So I'm passionate about nutrition on my own. I love the nutrients in 3. I love the fact that they're plant-based nutrients. Most of them are phytonutrients, come from plants. And so I do that kind of stuff. But what's most impressive about this company is the lysosomal enzyme technology that allows increased cellular absorption. So that's really important. Some say you are what you eat, but it's really you are what you absorb. And so the value added by having the increased absorption is something that was very important to me. In terms of the scientific board, obviously, I wouldn't have joined the company if I didn't believe in the products. I have the products in my spa, so I believe in that. But then I'm at a point in my life where I also only want to be around people that I like and enjoy and people who have similar values. And so when I met you and I talked to both of the Dans, Dr. Dan and CEO Dan, I really enjoyed talking to them. And I believe in the mission. And I believe in the science. And so I wanted to be a part of that. And so that's the main reason.
Wonderful. And like Dr. Madafri, you're talking about absorption again. It's all where it begins and ends. And for our brand ambassadors and everybody else listening, I want you to pay close attention. Notice the two new members of our scientific advisory board, they've talked about absorption. Because in medical school, in prescribing drugs, it's all about absorption. ADMET properties, absorption, number one.
That's right.
So Dr. Green, is there a favorite product that from 3 that you're using that you're enjoying?
I take all of the products. I take them all every day except for the collagen A's. I follow instructions. So I take it for a few days and then I take off. I take it for the 14 days and the 10 days, and then I take off for 20 days. And so I like all of the products. I like the collagen product because I like to improve my appearance as I'm aging. And as we get older, we have decreased collagen and we lose some of our skin elasticity. So I feel like improving skin elasticity, and collagen is also a matrix for bone. So it strengthens us in many different ways. I enjoy the Revive product because after I work out, it's really helpful to get some recovery. And I love the fact I was taking turmeric already, but this one is harvested curcumin, which is really the main active ingredient, has a lot of anti-inflammatory and healing properties. I take the Purify because I like to have a gentle cleanser in my system. I take all of the products. I could go down the line, but I'm not going to spend time doing that. But I take everything. I enjoy it, and I found them to be very effective. I noticed a big difference in my workouts within the first couple of weeks, really, and then I noticed a change in my appearance. So I'm not as good looking as Dr. Modafferi, so I'm sorry you didn't get to see her. But I've noticed also an improvement in my appearance since taking the products.
Wonderful. So, Dr. Green, what are some parting words that you would give to our brand ambassadors about health, about wellness, about 3? We're on this journey together. What wisdom would you drop on us?
Well, what I would say, and you can take it whether you think it's wise or not, but I can just tell you what motivates me. And if it aligns with your beliefs and your thought process, then it will resonate. So the products are one thing. I really believe in the products, but coming from my background, where I grew up, I just feel like it's an opportunity to be a blessing to other people. I'm focused mainly on the products and the nutrition, but there really is an opportunity to bless people with their finances. And so I like the community that 3 is building. I like the concept of a movement. We really do need a movement where we focus on health and wellness, but not just physical health and wellness, but mental health and wellness, emotional health and wellness, building a team that has a similar mission that drives and binds us all together and provides us with an opportunity to free people, not only just in terms of their health, but to also free them in terms of their finances. And I think a lot of people came away from COVID with a lot of fear. So I like the immune product that boosts the immune system, but just giving people an opportunity to truly enjoy the American dream. When you combine sound science with great opportunity, I think you have a fantastic company. So my question would be, why not? Why would you not want to be a part of 3? And then I did say, I really like the people. I mean, I like the fact that I'm dealing with people who are genuine, who are passionate, and passionate for a reason, because I do believe that this is going to have a huge impact all over the world in terms of improving health, nutrition, and access to a higher quality of life.
Wonderful. Wow. Dr. Green, power. Just, every time you speak, I listen. You speak wisdom, and you're a powerful educator and medical professional. And again, we're just so grateful to have you on the 3 Scientific Advisory Board. And brand ambassadors, you've heard the power coming from Dr. Green, and it'll be coming again in different events, and you'll see him in Anaheim as well. So thank you, Dr. Green, so much for accepting the appointment on the Scientific Advisory Board, and thank you for being with us this evening. Sure appreciate you.
It's an honor. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night. So, my friends, with that, We now have 9 members of our scientific advisory board, and you'll see them here. And if you go to our website has been updated so that you will be able to see all 9 members of the scientific advisory board. I want you to just look at these individuals. Look at their expertise and their talent. You've heard most of them speak. They are powerful, and be sure to utilize them as you talk to other people about the company. One thing I want to mention is we do have a chair of the scientific advisory board, and that's Dr. Timothy Schneider. Dr. Schneider lives in Florida. He trained at the Mayo Clinic as well. He's a LASIK surgeon, so we have 2 people on our board with Mayo roots, and all these individuals are exceptional, and we look forward to, I can say for myself, as a scientific advisory board, we look forward to serving you, to being with you, and to helping you understand the power of our products. So with that, I want to move on to the second announcement. And the second announcement relates to absorption. And I've talked about absorption again, but you notice the 2 members of our scientific advisory board, new members, Dr. Green and Dr. Madafri, they both talked about absorption. When we said Y3, boom, absorption. Because it's that critical. You can have the most powerful molecule on the planet, but unless it's absorbed into the cell, it's of no benefit. And that's easier said than done. The cell membrane is tricky. It doesn't want to let things in and out willy-nilly because its job is to keep the organism alive. So it's very, very selective about what it lets in. Even things that are good for the cell, sometimes the cell membrane doesn't let them in as easily as it should because of our body being out of whack due to lifestyle factors. So absorption is critical. And what I want to announce to you tonight is that we have run a clinical study. And I mentioned this a little bit, both in Salt Lake City and in Hong Kong, but this study is now published. It's been written. The data is ready to be presented to you in its finished format so that you can share it. One of the number one thing that came out of Salt Lake and Hong Kong, I received hundreds of messages saying, "Hey, what about that study? What about that study?" People sent me pictures of the slide from the event saying, "Hey, can I get a copy of this? Can I get the report from this?" And it's a big deal. So we ran a clinical study on absorption because we are a cellular absorption company. And other companies say their products are absorbed. But what I say, if they say that, and what you should say if they say that, show me the data. Because here at 3, we have a robust clinical study program. Now, supplement companies, they don't need to run clinical studies. If you're a pharmaceutical drug, you need to run clinicals and show it. Supplement companies don't need to show clinical data. And most of them don't show clinical data because they're afraid the data won't be good, because the product that they get is the same as other contract manufacturers. So the data is going to be the same as everybody else's. But with us, with our custom curated formulations, we run clinical studies. And so we ran an absorption study because we're an absorption company. And so what we did is we worked with a company called Wasatch Scientific. They're based out of Salt Lake City. They're combined with another group called Rincon Bio, and they do clinical studies for pharmaceutical companies. So remember that when we ran our clinical study, we went with a company that does clinical studies for pharma companies. So this is pharma grade clinical research. And what we did is we created a cell membrane. Our colleagues at Wasatch Scientific, you can actually create a cell membrane. It's called a Keiko-2 assay. If you want to geek out, you can go check it out. But it's the classic absorption study that they do when they look at absorption of pharmaceutical drugs. So you make this cellular membrane, and then what you do is you dose your compound, your formula on the top, and then you use different technologies. You use UV absorbance, and you look at the wavelengths so you can actually see what passes through. So you have this stuff on top, and you see what passes through the cell membrane, and we could quantify that. And so that's what we did. So we have our 6 products here that you can see, and then we have an organic control. And the organic control that we use is curcumin. Curcumin represents a normal organic molecule. It's a good representative biomarker for all organic molecules. So in nutritional supplements, we have organic molecules. Organic meaning they're made out of carbon. And organic molecules are hydrophobic, meaning they don't like water. And that's a problem because 60% of the body, 90% of the blood, everything surrounding the cell is water. And so you can see here that curcumin, its absorption, its bioavailability is 10%. And now, when you look at all of our products, the absorption rate varies, but please listen carefully to this. When you look at absorption rate for these 6 products, don't compare them with each other. Compare them with the organic control. So look at Revive. Revive has molecules that, like curcumin and whatnot, that are historically not very bioavailable, right? Curcumin is 10%. You notice Revive with our 3 different cellular absorption technologies in there, now it's 30%. So Revive is 3 times more bioavailable than a classic formula. Vitalitan Immune, 4.4 times more bioavailable. Collagen, 7.3 times. Purify, 8.8 times. And Etranel, 9.5 times more bioavailable than a standard organic molecule, standard nutritional supplement formula. That's powerful. We use 11 different cellular absorption technologies to provide this result. So when you talk about 3, when you talk about exploration, we have the 3 Medicinal Plant Research Institute. You need to talk about that and the research we're doing there. We have curation, which is the second core pillar of 3, and talk about our curated formulas, our custom formulations that are developed from scratch in our lab. But then number 3 here, the third core pillar, absorption. And you can show this data. You should show this data. This should be one of the first things that you show to people, saying, hey, yeah, our company, we're cellular absorption. We have 11 different technologies. They're highly bioavailable. And boom, here's the data. But I'm not going to do what we did last time at the convention. You can have this data. So if you see on the next slide here, what we've done is we've published this data. And this data is in the back office. It's in a beautiful format where you see this first page here is a cover page. Our amazing marketing communications team took this clinical study, kind of condensed all the geekazoid stuff into a snapshot where you and people you send it to can see it easily and understand it. And then we have all along with it the actual study where we talk about the methods used, the materials, the results, the discussion, and it's all there so that you can send both to someone, the layperson who wants to just quickly get it, and you can also send this to medical professionals who will understand the KCO2 assay and how that's done. So you need to use this. It's an imperative. This study right here will take your business through the roof. We've talked about absorption. We're a brand new company. We've been running this clinical study for quite a while now, and it's here, it's published, it's ready for you to use, and it's powerful. So, my dear friends, it's been so great to be with you guys here tonight. These 2 things that we've talked about from the science side, the 2 new members of our scientific advisory board and our cellular absorption bioavailability study, these 2 things will significantly help your business. And, this is our passion here at 3, my friends. We just want to give you the best science, the best tools, the best resources, the best team with our scientific advisory board to help you succeed, to help you change lives, your own life, your family members, to help you change those around you, and to change your life, all aspects of your life. Thank you very much, my friends. Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Dan. I want to thank you for doing a tremendous job, as you always do. And I want to thank Dr. Green. An amazing story. Dr. Green coming all the way from Compton in Los Angeles and growing up where he grew up to become a medical doctor who holds 2 doctorates, a PhD and an MD. Absolutely impressive. And Dr. Madafri, I can't wait to see you speak on stage, you and Dr. Green both. I can't wait till you're able to share with the 3 community your passion, and your heart shines through with what you do, and you're so passionate. I mean, Mayo Clinic, guys, come on. Just absolutely incredible. And as Dr. Dan mentioned, our second doctor who has a connection and a tie in with Mayo Clinic. It's really just, it just shows the power of our science and the power of these products and the power of this community. And so I want to thank the 3 of you for doing such an amazing job. I want to welcome Dr. Green and Dr. Modafferi to the board officially. I want to welcome you on behalf of the entire 3 family. I know they're going to welcome you with open arms. And as Dr. Dan mentioned, we've got 9 members, that are part of the SAB, the Scientific Advisory Board. But we've only got 1. 8 are North American based. 1, Dr. Yoshimura, who does such an amazing job and has a heart of gold, is based in Japan. I want to say this in front of everybody. I look forward to, in the near future, having representation from all over the world, Southeast Asia, having representation from Greater China on the board. I want a global scientific advisory board, as well as a global movement that represents this amazing company. And so tonight is a massive announcement with the addition of these 2 incredibly talented doctors and this study that Dr. Dan has been working so hard on. The proof's in the printout, and showing what our products do. It's one thing to say this is what they do. It's one thing to talk about the ingredients and the nutritional, science behind them. It's another thing to say, here's a study, and here's the findings, and here's this study that you can go share with others. So Dr. Dan, thank you for everything that you've done on that. We've got some exciting science that'll take place, and we'll share with you in Anaheim. Guys, I want to encourage everybody out there. You saw this incredible lineup tonight and this addition to the Science Board. We are going to pour it out in Anaheim. The convention, our first convention, we've done 2 launch events to kick this off, both in Salt Lake City and Hong Kong, but our first official convention is in Anaheim, September 21st to the 23rd. I'm telling you, don't miss it. It's the power of 3. And you're going to see a lot of marketing and a message behind that. We've got a lineup. Guys, we've got a bench that I've never seen in this industry. We've got leadership and talent that I've never seen. I looked at the training that took place in Salt Lake City, and I looked at the leadership and training that took place in Hong Kong, and I sat in awe at the talent, at the experience, the depth, the wisdom, the knowledge, the hands-on experience. You can learn things in school, but you can't buy experience. And I look at the experience that we have, decades upon decades of experience, hundreds of years, literally. If you look at the leaders, some leaders have been in the industry 5 or 10 years. Some have been in 15, 20. Some have been in 30, 35 years. If you look at the hundreds of years of experience in this industry, hands-on, that are at 3 right now, it's humbling. It's mind-blowing. I would tell you to get all of your teams to the Power of 3 event in Anaheim. Don't miss out. We've got early bird pricing right now. You're going to see on the next slide where to go to. For $129 through the end of this month, go to 32023.com and get you and your teams registered today. By the way, don't tell your teams to register if you haven't registered. You need to be registered to tell your teams that they need to register. A leader steps up and says, watch me. I've already registered. They send out on WhatsApp or iOS or the different leadership threads and groups that each of you have. And they say, I've already registered. Have you registered, Jane? Have you registered, Jim? Have you registered, Mary? Because I'm registered. Encourage your teams to register right away. The next thing I want to talk about is the cruise coming up. Guys, you have until September 10th to qualify for a 5-night, 6-day cruise. And I've got an announcement coming up here in a minute that's going to blow your socks off of what has already taken place regarding this cruise. We're going to take this cruise November 11th through the 16th out of Port Canaveral, Florida. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful boat. 5 nights together, 6 days in the open seas. I am fired up to see each and every one of you. And to those that have already qualified, actually, I'm going to wait a minute to tell you. It's so big. It's so mind-blowing what's happened in such a short period of time. I'm going to wait on a minute on this, but I want to show you the next slide. I want to, if you want details, well, where do I find the information on the cruise? How do I get the information to my teams? How do I qualify? What do I do? It's real simple. You go to 3wall.earth. We've got all the details on there, how you qualify. As I mentioned, the qualification period through September 10th. Guys, here's what I want to tell you. To achieve anything great, it takes dedication and hard work. I've never met anyone in any country, in any part of the world, doesn't matter their background, their education level, none of those things matter. What does matter is their heart, their commitment, their vision, their work ethic, and their willingness to take some action. I want all of you on the cruise. Is it going to take a little bit of action? Are you going to have to roll up your sleeves and pick up the phone when it weighs 400 or 500 pounds? Absolutely you are. But you know what? We've got so many people that have already qualified for this cruise. It's mind-blowing. If you took a guess, you wouldn't even be close. You know, I announced in Salt Lake City from stage that we had 54 qualifiers because in Salt Lake City, we had 54 qualifiers. And we showed their pictures and their beautiful smiling faces up and couples that are going to be taking this trip together and people that have gone out there and worked hard and qualified. We had 54 qualifiers a few short weeks ago. Drum roll. As of today, we have at 302 qualified. So where does this lead me? Well, if your teams are on here saying, is 3 booming? Is 3 growing? Is 3 really a movement? Is 3 really as big as they say it is in this with a company that's now only 4 months old as we were in our pre-launch period? Guys, if the cruise were tomorrow, we're taking 302 people from the 3 family on a beautiful cruise. And I'm telling you what, we've got a little over 60 more days for people to run for this, 64 to be exact. I'm telling you, we're going to pack out this boat. If you are on this boat and you are not involved in 3, you will be by the time you get off the boat at port, because we're going to have the majority of the boat. We're going to pack this thing out and we are going to show you a blast. You know, I talk about the sacrifice. I talk about taking action. But what I also want to talk about as a movement and a community is us having fun. I want to take you all over the world on the company's dime because you deserve it, because you've gone out there and qualified for this amazing trip. We're going to show you an amazing time on this Western Caribbean cruise. We're going to have a blast together. We're going to get to know you. If I haven't met you, I look forward to getting to know you. If I haven't met your family, I look forward to getting to know them. If I haven't had a chance to hear your hopes and dreams, I look forward to it because we're going to have 6 days together that myself and the team and our leadership team and our incredible leaders will get to know you. There's going to be amazing memories created, some great laughs, and some fun in the sun. You know, I was thinking as I was preparing for this earlier today, and Dr. Dan was preparing, and we're making the announcement of 2 incredibly talented individuals to the Scientific Advisory Board, and Dr. Dan was going through the study and finalizing the messaging on that. I was thinking about action. You know, I talk a lot about action, and we were putting together the convention agenda that we've been working on. And one of the parts, I want everybody to leave there after this 2-day incredible event that's going to take place in Anaheim. I want you to leave there with the mindset and the tools necessary for great success. But one of the ending parts, without me spoiling it, is us really focusing on action. You know, Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of this amazing country, has a quote that I've always loved. And for those that know me, I love quotes, but Thomas Jefferson said, "Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask. You just need to act." He said, action will delineate and define who you are. I also saw a quote recently that says, you don't get results by focusing on results. You actually get results that you're after by focusing on the actions that you need to take that in turn will produce the end result. I'd ask you 2 questions as we finish up here tonight. Are you taking the necessary action day in and day out? I look at some of our amazing field leadership, our 3 stars, our 3-star elites, our 4 stars, our 5 stars, our 6 stars, 7 stars. I look at people that are out there building incredible businesses here at 3. And I'll tell you this, are some of them incredibly talented? Yes. Are some of them educated? Yeah. Some of them aren't. Are some of them, have they been in the industry before? Sure. Guess what? A lot of them haven't. But guess what they all have in common? They all have in common the willingness to grow as people, and they all have in common the willingness to go out there and take action. I would ask you, are you willing to take action? Are you willing to grow? Are you willing to challenge yourself? Are you willing to have some fun on this journey? That's the first thing I'd ask you. The second thing I'd ask you is, how committed are you? You know, it's the old chicken, the chicken or the pig, who's more committed, right? I would ask you, how committed are you? Are you all in, or are you a toe dipper? Are you at the end of the pond dipping your toe in and saying, I'll see how cold the water is before I jump in? Or are you the guy on the high dive at the pool saying, I'm going to dive headfirst into this pond because I know what's in front of us? I'd ask you, how committed are you? Are you willing to take action, and how committed are you? And I'd follow up with this. Do you understand what's in front of you? Guys, we're only a few months in to this amazing movement. We're only a few months in to this life-changing community and building something that I believe will be life-changing for thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and eventually millions of people all over the globe. I've never been more committed. I've never been more passionate. I've never been more excited, and I've never been more fired up about where we are headed as a movement. I'm honored to be with you this evening. I want to thank again our amazing guests that were on here with me this evening who did such a great job. Dr. Dan Gubler, Dr. Green, and Dr. Madafri. Again, welcome to the board. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for your service. And thank you for being willing to join this amazing family we call Three. Thank you guys for taking time out of your evening. Looking forward to seeing you again. Make sure you run for the cruise, and make sure that you're registered for our amazing Power of Three event in Anaheim in September. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.